Greetings, grasshoppers. This is your RJ. Welcome to today's show. Today, we're going to talk about my 20 minutes. Now, if you're a listener on this show, you know that I talk all the time about working with my clients and letting them know that 20 minutes a day, working with your bot, having conversations, doing things to connect with people and also to make the bot work as well as it can, tweaking. There's always new stuff coming out. And then as I made one of my brand new clients promise, she said, "So what is your 20-minute routine?" And I realized I'd never told anyone. So today we're going to talk about that. But before we talk about that, we're going to talk about this. I know that there's probably not a whole lot of people watching today because everyone has Mark Zuckerberg on the other screen. Yes, my darlings, my grasshoppers, the Facebook Developers Conference is going on. Now, if that excites you, great. If that makes you filled with dread, thinking that it's just really a bunch of complete geeks talking to each other about ASMR and AR and any other initials you can cram together in a sentence or something that, vaguely looks like a sentence. Just know that it's pretty user friendly. It's where Facebook announces what's coming. They talked a bit about the Cambridge Analytica stuff. It looks like that ban on, or the temporary ban on connecting a brand new page to a bot is going to be lifted soon. Yay to all of you who've been waiting. And that's really great stuff. So do tune in to that if you can. I personally will be doing a little bit of a rundown in my group, the Black Belt Bots community, as to how all this pertains to messenger bots. Robert, hey, just sent you a blog. Bots are back. Excelente, Robert Stern. Thank you. And of course, Teresa watched some of it, but came over here and said, well, thank you. I will be certainly reading and taking in all of this stuff over the next couple of days. And then talking about it in plain English to people who understand plain English. So excellent. Thank you for coming over. So those are just a couple of the, some flashes coming out of there. You can connect your bots now, or we'll be able to very, very soon. I hadn't gotten the exact moment when that's able to happen. I know that ManyChat is going to message me when it can happen as well. So we'll get that news. But also there's going to be doing some crazy new stuff with augmented reality. They're doing a lot of stuff. You live streamers out there, listen to this, like on WhatsApp, on Instagram. There's all kinds of video chat going to be going on. Private video chat in which you can add many people. So like 4 up on a screen type of thing. So for those of you who are interested in that, that's coming. A dating section is coming. Wow. Hey, my wife and I met on OkCupid. My sister met her guy through Match, and I have another sister who's maybe just started seeing a guy that she met on Match. So I say great. Whatever. Hey, I'm a girl who's stuck behind a computer all day. It really helps me meet somebody nice. So anyway, Teresa says, I was excited about the private chat on Instagram. That's going to be awesome. That is going to be awesome to connect people, isn't it? I have not personally used Instagram very much. I'm just dipping into it. But it seemed like they were, I kind of like Instagram. Instagram is where I go to smile. Instagram's where I go to take a little break. And just to be able to, as you log in, they kind of give you that feed of, different things that they think you might be interested. Well, now they're going to be separating those feeds out so you can between topics. I find that super interesting. So we'll see what comes out of that. But I'll be explaining that all to you in plain English. Now back to today's topic, because that's important stuff. And Teresa says, just started getting started with Instagram. Looks like you picked a good time to jump in. I think so. I mean, it looks exciting to me. I'm loving all the videos people are putting on there, especially those time-lapse videos. Really, it excites the visual person in me. So we'll see what's going on there. So 20 minutes a day, I make all my clients promise. What do you do during that 20 minutes? Okay, number one, conversations. Okay. Now, I set it so that when someone starts a conversation or has a question for me, that I'm able to set up something in the background that alerts me immediately to go and answer that question. So I don't really answer a whole lot of questions during my 20-minute time, but you could. So getting in, looking at the conversations that are going on, seeing if people are getting stuck, seeing if people are asking you questions that are going unanswered, hopping on and answering those. It does, I set the expectation that I'll be there at my first opportunity, but I don't set the expectation that I'll be there within an hour. When my bot says, I'll ping RJ and get back to you, and she'll get back with you as soon as she can, within 24 hours, I think is a fine thing. I've not gotten any pushback from that in my bot. So when I do get on in the morning, occasionally there's a question or two that hasn't been answered, but most of the time, all of that stuff has been done. The first thing I spend my 20 minutes doing is looking at who's been silent a while in my bot. Looking at okay, here's somebody who signed on 3 weeks ago, got the first 3 days, and then has not really done anything in that time. What happened there? Did the bot get stuck? I know one time, and this happened to a guy named Jim a couple weeks ago on my bot. He was going through one of the sequences. He was doing just fine. It was the first day sequence. And then 15-minute, he had subscribed to my live stream. So that means you get a reminder. By the way, type live in the comments if you want a reminder of when I come on. You will get one every single time telling you the topic, and then I'll be on in 15 minutes and giving you a link to watch. Super handy. Anyway, he had subscribed to that. And so he was in one sequence, and a broadcast came out about the fact that I was going to be live in 15 minutes, and that interrupted his original sequence. So immediately, the next day when I get on, that teaches me a lesson about what happens. That teaches me a lesson. It teaches me what to look for, and that's something that I can then get in and restart the next day and make sure that he didn't get any cognitive dissonance. Jim actually wrote me and said, hey, why did this happen? And I was able to say, well, it was this. I've restarted you, so you should be fine tomorrow. Just knowing those kinds of answers for people, being able to say, hey, sorry about that glitch. Computers are crazy, aren't they? And then, everything is going to be fine with your next message. It's good stuff to be able to tell people. So looking for problems, looking for anything that might have gone wrong, but then also looking for who has been inactive for a while and starting up a conversation. Here's my favorite thing to do. I go in, I look at people who haven't been around for a while. I engage them, continue the conversation, and offer something of value. So it goes a little bit like this. My script's down here today because I was so busy watching Zucky that I forgot to tape my script up. Anyway, so what I'll get in there, if it's somebody that I don't know that hasn't furthered the relationship with me at all, they're still in the starting stages of the bot, but haven't really communicated in a while. What did you come here hoping to learn? And how can I help you? I just engage them with a simple question. I just want to restart that conversation. Maybe the bot messages is something that they think their clients or their customers might be excited about, but maybe they're not super excited about going through the entire sequence. But maybe they still want to know something. Maybe there's still something from me that I can give them a little bit of value. I've got a ton of videos. Making one right now, darlings. I've got a ton of videos that I can point people to for answers to questions. I've also got a class that I've got on sale. I've got a ton of places to send people, but I need to know what they want to know. So just that simple question, what did you come here hoping to learn? How can I help you? Has started up a lot of conversations for me, a lot of conversations that then lead to a furthering of the relationship. So that's what I do. That's the first thing that I do is catch up on stuff, look for trouble spots, and then, getting on to people who have kind of been quiet for a while and engaging them. I do a little flow check. I just do a little flow check. I will, for those of you who haven't created your bot yet, the sequences are the main message of what you are sending people through. But there's always an entrance to these sequences, and those are called, in ManyChat, they're called growth tools. So a growth tool, a number of growth tools could lead to the same sequence. So what I do sometimes, if I have some time, is I will hit upon an active growth tool and take it all the way through and see if it's leading where I think that it's going to lead. One of the things that I did, and I warned people against this when I first started bot building, was I built a ton of sequences. Oh, I was so thrilled about this. I was absolutely going to take over the world. And then I put them all out there, and then I made some changes and didn't check back with the changes, and then I had some unexpected results. So now what I do is when I have some time, I troubleshoot. When I have part of that 20 minutes left, I troubleshoot sequences. I go, okay, this growth tool is supposed to lead to this place. Does it really? Does the person have a good experience getting there? What can I do to change that and help that a little bit? And then third thing, last thing that I do, I go over my ideas. Listen, let me just make a confession right here on Facebook Live in front of Zucky and everybody. It's that I have many, many more ideas than I have time to make them happen, because I have to do things like, produce things for clients. I need to eat. I need to go to the gym occasionally. That hasn't happened in a while. I need to pet the dog. I've got a lot of things going on. I need to do admin stuff, all of that. If I could just spend my time building different sequences, I would be locked in here forever. I love new ideas, but I've got a reasonable amount of time to spend on them. I have more ideas than I know what to do with. So I tend to take ideas and put them in a bucket. And I use an electronic bucket. It's called Trello. I write out as much as the ideas that I want to do, and then I put it away, and I have space for infinite amounts of ideas. I like to at least get them down. Because then if I have 5-10 minutes when I'm ending up for the day on my 20 minutes, I can revisit knowing what I know today, look at that idea 3 weeks ago and go, you know what, that thing is stuck in my mind every day for 3 weeks. I'm going to go ahead and put that on the schedule. Or, that sequence ain't going to work. I need to rework that one. Let's put it really in the icebox. So that's what I do. So continue conversations, start up new ones, doing some flow checks. And then when I know everything's working correctly and when I know every question has been answered, I move on to my ideas and I think about the very next sequence that I want to write. There you have it. I explained to you my 20-minute process in 14 minutes. So yeah, that's what's going on today. I didn't do a whole lot of promo for this today because I'm glued. I'm glued to Zucky and the people of the Facebook because I tell you what, and this is Stephen, if you're watching, I think this is our topic for tomorrow. I think I'm going to go back through the replay and count how many times he talks about relationships and conversation. Um, I don't know. I'm impressed by this. I've been a little frustrated, as everyone has been, with, some of Facebook's changes and temporary things lately. But I think that they're going to a good place, and I'm happy to be on this train because I think it's a great thing. I think about how different my life would be. Listen, in 2000, I think it was 7 or 8 is when I got on Facebook. And my very first post, and you can look to see if it's true, because it was a lot of posts ago, but my very first post was, I was a college student. I was a grad student going to school for Masters of Public Administration and a Master of Science in Management Information Systems, and I was teaching small businesses technology. I ran into this Facebook, and my very first post was, I'm trying to figure out how I can start, make a career out of spending time all day on Facebook. That was my first post. And here we are, many, many moons later. Oh my God, has it almost been 10 years? Wow. Anyway, we'll talk about how old we feel in another broadcast. Today's broadcast is not for that. That's about all I have. If you have questions about that 20 minutes a day, listen, I go over this because when I was very first starting out in bots, I had a couple of jobs. It was really just a couple of jobs where I really, I was first starting out. I didn't explain you need to have that 20 minutes a day. And I think that people got the wrong idea. That this was more, people hear the word bots, they think robotic, automatic. And for some reason that leads them to also believe, and for some of the ways that, people are talking about bots, right? They start to think that it's something you can set and forget. If you're going to set it and forget it, just forget it. Move to a different type of marketing. And the reason why I say this is because setting up this stuff is hard work. You have to learn to write copy on a whole different level. As far as I'm concerned, learning how to write copy conversationally is very different than writing an email or writing some copy for a sales page on a website. So you have to learn. And I'm here, I'm here to virtually handhold my clients anytime. That's what I'm here for. But there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in building something on a brand new platform. And then if you're going to set it and forget it, what you're going to do is not get the results you want. You're not going to get the results you want. You're going to be frustrated that you spent the time. So this is why I tell people right up front, this is where we need to go, 20 minutes a day. If you have to, 10 minutes a day on the weekends. Those typically aren't as hot times for me, but this is what I do. That's why I'm recommending it to you, because it works for me, works for my clients. And that's it for today. You guys, I'm so here to answer any question you might have. If you want to ask them here, great. If you want to ask them in my community, great too. It's a free community to join. It's where we have a little community of people who are thinking about building bots and people who are already building them. And it's a great place to learn, and let your hair down a little and, talk some shop about bots. If you want to join us, love to have you. For those of you who would rather have me on an audio experience, I have that too. Got a little podcast going on. Got a little Alexa going on as well. Follow the bot signal on either of those, and you'll get my dulcet tones. And yeah, that's it. We'll be back Thursday. Probably go over a little bit about what's happened at that F8 Facebook Developers Conference in plain English. And until then, thanks a lot, and I'll see you in a bot.